Welcome back. It's Wednesday and we've got another episode for you. This week's episode is about kids and kid food and mom judgment. And if you are or think you are the mother that I'm talking about in this episode, I just want you to know I meant everything I said. Hello, it's me, Julie Kim. Welcome to Bothered, my little podcast about being bothered. Every week I share short stories.
Living like this, I might lose it.
They're mostly real situations that have happened to me. You wouldn't believe some of them. Or maybe you would. Maybe you can relate.
Living like this, I might lose it.
So this is a story from a number of years ago that I actually do think about once in a while, mostly because it's a little fucking annoying. It's from a time when my daughter happened to be in daycare and my husband and I, well, more me at the time, tried to, connect with people and have play dates with other parents and the kids in daycare. So I decided this one time to invite two of the moms. It just happened to be that the moms were the ones that I saw more often with their kids, and I invited them to come over after daycare, and I would prepare a small dinner or a little plate for all of the kids and just, let's connect. My husband was not there. I don't even remember if he was busy or if he made an excuse to be busy so he could not be there, but that would actually track. So anyways, these people came over to eat at our dinner table, and I put out some healthy snacks, some vegetables, some low sugar juice boxes, and then the main entree was just a food that my daughter really likes and a lot of kids really like, and we don't have it a lot, so I decided to give them hot dogs. They were all natural and not fake, all natural, still, pig's anus kind of shit. It was really good, natural British Columbian beef hot dogs. So I fed them all these hot dogs, and one of the mothers said, "Oh, his dad would be so mad if he knew he was eating hot dogs." And she just said it in this way that was not directly an insult or a criticism, but just haha, he would be so angry about you feeding him this shit. And I didn't really react. I was just oh, ha, ha, ha. But in my head was oh, you're a dumb fucking cunt. Because that's a dumb fucking cunt thing to say. And let me say, not that I ever want to shame a person for the way they look, but this kid was a big fucking kid, okay? He looked like a professional wrestler and he was 4 years old, okay? So clearly you're not being that discriminate at home in terms of what he eats or how much he's eating, but I feed him one fucking hot dog and you have to make a comment when I am graciously inviting you into our home and have taken mental load and also physical labor to make food for everybody and provide snacks. Go fucking fuck yourself, During that play date, my daughter had run into our bedroom because it was the one thing I fucking told her not to do. I said, no matter what, don't go into our bedroom because that's where I hid all of our mess, okay? I'm a messy person, and the best I can do when you come over is hide that mess in various places. And that day, I hid the mess in my fucking bedroom, so I instructed my daughter not to go in there. And then as they're playing, she laughs and she runs into our bedroom, and then the other kids run into our bedroom, and I could have easily gotten the kids. I even said to the moms, I'm gonna go get them. But this mother, I know she was being fucking nosy, came in after me to get her child. There wasn't a fucking dragon in there. Just wait a second and I'll send your kid back out. But no, she had to come in and she saw my mess, which itself is fine, but I didn't want you in there. So she comes in and then she looks around and she goes, "Oh, do you rent or own?" Which to me is in the top 3 questions that if you ask me, if I don't know you very well, make you really fucking boring, first of all, especially in Vancouver. People cannot stop talking about real estate, and they also want to compare and know about your financial situation and shit. We've been asked this a lot by people, and I don't care. I don't care what you do, except if it brings you joy and passion, and then it's a fun fucking conversation. But the way that other people ask, what do you do, or where do you live, or do you rent or own, is so yucky and also banal and unimaginative that it is gross. So that was the second ex from this mom who came over that day, who has never come over again, by the way, and I've never given her son another hot dog or any other food at that matter. And look, This is also a woman who's like very, very fucking pale. The palest person I've ever met in my life, which is fine. But like, maybe you should eat a fucking hot dog and maybe it'll give you some color. Even if it's artificial color, I think it might be nice for you and your complexion. That didn't sound very nice. Maybe we'll cut that out. But my main point is that I really detest this kind of like judgy shit that people say to each other. And when it comes to food and nutrition, and like for a lot of people in Canada, at least, or Toronto and Vancouver, for a lot of families, and a lot of families are struggling right now. I'm not even saying like we're struggling, although please do like and subscribe because we want to monetize this podcast heavily, as well as my socials, but it's not because I can't buy food. But when I buy food, me, like I like a lot of people out there, make choices. Life is more expensive. So you're going to criticize somebody for feeding your kid very good natural hot dogs? Well, go fuck yourself, okay? A lot of us do what we need to do with the budgets that we have. A lot of us feed our kids what they will eat because kids often are very picky. And I never like judge a parent for like if their kid likes fucking McDonald's. You know why? McDonald's is not bad. I mean, it is bad. I mean, it's whatever. Feed your child. I took my kid to McDonald's this morning along with her friend on their way to camp because they needed to eat. And you know what? They were so happy. And I am now the cool mom. It also wasn't cheap. It was like $19 for 2 McChicken sandwiches with minimal substitutions. $19 to feed your kids. Anyways, whatever your kids will eat, if it's not like lead or like completely deficient in nutrition, that's what you got to do. Okay. I've made some adjustments to my chair. I realized it was lower than I wanted it to be. Sorry for the lack of continuity. I've put together a bunch of snacks that we currently have in our pantry. You can judge. You can judge all the snacks all you want. This one I picked up from a green room I was in the other day. It's Kellogg's dark chocolate chunks and almonds. Have not even checked the macros on this. I will give this to my child if I'm sending her off to camp or school and she needs a snack. That's what I'm doing. These also, BC-based freeze-dried fruit, very, very healthy. It costs a little more than regular snacks, but guess what? We're going to be eating these in rotation. Also, my daughter loves nuts in our family. We're a nut-aware family, which basically means we are aware that we like nuts. So we keep stuff like this around. We don't take it to camp or school. We learned that lesson the hard way. Seaweed rolls. This is actually turned to dust, but I'll stick that in a lunchbox anytime. We've got these Costco granola bars that my daughter tried one time somewhere. She loved them. So then I bought a box and then she was just like, oh, they're just okay. So I've got 36 of those. I got these doing a commercial and it was at the craft services and I took it, I put it in my bag and then I brought it home and hopefully will be eaten before it expires. These are really good. These chia squeeze packets when you want something that is sweet for your kid that also has a lot of fiber and very little sugar. And like, you know, these other random snacks, Bob's Snails. This is not even a commercial. I'm just showing you the range of kids' foods that we have in our place that I will be giving out to my child whenever it's convenient. I remember a friend telling me that she met another mom of a newborn a number of years ago, and that mom actually said to her, I just don't understand why you don't just get organic clothes for your kid. What kind of fucking moron would even say the words out loud? I just don't understand why people don't put their babies in organic clothes. My daughter sometimes wears the opposite of organic clothes. A lot of the clothes that we get is actually from my mom, her grandmother, because they don't live in the same city, but my mom fucking loves Winners, okay? She's a Winners whore, and I don't know if that's disrespectful, but I also don't think it's inaccurate. She fucking loves Winners, okay? So once in a while, my mom and dad will send a package in Canada Post, and they'll just send a bunch of clothes. Can I get clothes for my child? Yes, but this is just something that she loves to do. Half of those clothes are actively flammable, okay? Because there's polyester dresses at Winners, and a lot of the things she sends her are not environmentally friendly at all. And I can't even say that they're fit for humans, being around humans. One time I opened a package that my mom had sent my daughter, and it was a headband, a cute little headband that you put on when you do like skincare or wash your face. And on the actual label, it said may contain cancerous materials, which I interpret as saying this is a fucking cancerous headband. I took a picture of it. I wish I still had it. I put it in a bag somewhere so I could like fucking return it to Winners because I don't think they should be selling that shit. And I don't know where it is. Maybe I wrapped it up so tight because I was worried about it leaching chemicals into our bodies that I think I hid it very, very safely away somewhere. So anyways, this is all to say that life is a combination of good decisions and ideal decisions and whatever is fucking convenient. So whatever you want to do for yourself, please go ahead and do it. And if you ever invite me and my kid over and are gracious and generous enough to offer any kind of food or drink, and I don't want that in my kid, or I think like my husband would disapprove, I think I would probably fucking keep my mouth shut. And I think that is what this bitch should have done. Keep her fucking mouth shut. I think for a lot of us who grew up in the 90s or the 80s, or even people who grew up even earlier than that, people will always say, you know, I ran out in the streets. We didn't lock our doors. But when it comes to food, I will say I was one of those people who ate the worst fucking food. My parents raised us above our the convenience store that they ran. I ate out of cans, okay? Most of the foods I ate were mostly preservatives. I ate out of cans. I fucking licked those cans afterwards. I mean, it wasn't a healthy lifestyle. We're not doing anything close to that right now, but it is a lot of pressure to only feed your kid only good stuff. And certainly I would never fucking put that pressure on anybody else. You can politely decline. You could bring a snack. This woman didn't even like contribute healthy snacks. She didn't even say, oh, can I bring anything? Could I bring some fruit or some healthy sides or anything like that? She just came empty-handed and then she said, ugh. His dad would hate it if he knew that he was eating hot dogs. Just so fucking stupid. What a fucking stupid c***. I don't want to sound extremist, but I do also think that an attack on hot dogs is an attack on America. No, I'm just kidding. But hot dogs are like just a food, right? They're a nostalgic part of childhood. And what kid doesn't like a hot dog, right? You go to a ball game, you get a hot dog. You're on the street late at night after going out to the club, you eat a fucking hot dog, okay? And there's healthier examples now of street food. But I think this just shows, this was probably the most miserable parent or family that like we knew, like, you know, during that time. And that's all I'll say because that's not nice to say anything more than that. But God, is it ever a symbol that you can't just let your kid enjoy a fucking hot dog? I think for this person, the hot dog was just a symbol, just a way to compare and put down another person and just an expression of being disapproving and miserable. It's such a weird fucking thing to say out loud. In closing, I would like to say that I think this could have been handled very differently. I think there are a number of things that this woman could have said. She could have said nothing, would have been perfect, or could have said, oh, my son is allergic to hot dogs. Because the kid was little. He wouldn't have been like, no, I'm not. You could have just said he's allergic and then not let him eat that. And he could have eaten a plain bun. And I think that's what this woman actually is. Because I have since found out she's very fucking boring and unhappy. She's the equivalent of a plain bun. She's the person who would go to a barbecue and decline all of the really good, salty, delicious food and beer and just say, I'll just have a white bun. Don't be the white bun. Thanks for listening again to this week's episode of Bothered. We'll be back next Wednesday because we are a weekly Wednesday podcast. Check out for announcements on my website, juliekimcomedy.com, or my Instagram. And definitely please sign up for my newsletter, which you can do on my website. Write me at bothered@juliekimcomedy.com. I will be responding to every message and I will be acknowledging the neat anecdotes that you've been sharing with me and your rage and bothered stories as well. I appreciate everybody. Please like, subscribe, follow, and comment. Thanks for all of your support. Goodbye.
Living like this, I might lose it.